What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are continuing our coverage of the light novel Hathaway's Flash Volume 1. Last time, Mafty started their operation. However, Hathaway went off script and protected Gigi. Gauman was attacked by the Kimberly forces and wasn't able to make their escape. This time, Hathaway will be questioned once again. Kenneth changes the name of the Kimberly unit to the Cersei unit, and the boys sexualize Gigi like crazy. So let's get into this. He gets out of the messer with his hands up as EFF surrounds him. A Bas Jabber lands near the park. One of the soldiers tells the other to be careful as this is their first Mafty prisoner. Hathaway puts his jacket over a cold Gigi. In the movie, he puts his jacket over her before dragging her limp body through the park. Kenneth steps out of the Bas Jabber and confronts Gigi. He allows her in the Bas Jabber where it is warmer. The sun begins to rise. Kenneth says, "Not bad for my first day on the job." Kimberly has made EFF look weak. He wants to interrogate this new prisoner to see where they are getting their weapons. Kenneth says he will deal with the prisoner personally. As Kenneth handles business, Hathaway heads into the Bas Jabber with Gigi. She offers him some coffee, and she puts her head in his lap. He ducks his head so Gauman doesn't see him. In the movie, he hasn't entered the Bas Jabber yet, and he and Gauman look each other in the eyes. They will have a similar interaction soon in the light novel. He tries to overhear what EFF is saying to Gauman. He seems to be holding it together quite well when faced with hostility. They take him away. Kenneth asks if the two have their cards. Gigi somehow passed out in Hathaway's lap. He pulls out the card he was given earlier. Kenneth says this makes them guests of the Federation, and they will be taken care of. The Gustav Karl latches on to the Bas Jabber. EFF heads out to find Hathaway and Gigi's luggage. This isn't a normal Bas Jabber. This is the Bas Jabber Caesarea. The BJK-232 Caesarea is a new subflight system used by EFF and the Kimberly forces. There isn't really ever too much of a difference between subflight system upgrades, besides general enhancements. It has a rocket launcher and 2 beam cannons and can operate via the mobile suit or independently. The Bas Jabber makes its way towards Davao base. Mafty hit the base during his attack as well. This is the first time Hathaway is getting a good view of the base as he wasn't able to see it from the Hound's End. Just as Mafty was about to acquire their own mobile suit, so too does the Kimberly force have something of equal power. Kenneth tells Hathaway that Kimberly is an Owen Belly and won't leave until he ousts the rebels in the area. He takes out his riding whip and begins slapping it against his hand. What a power move, bringing a riding whip to your work. I kinda wanna try this. The Bas Jabber lands. Hathaway wakes up Gigi, and they get out of the Bas Jabber. This is when Hathaway and Gauman make eye contact. An EFF soldier is being rough with him. Hathaway tells him to not be so rough. Kenneth approaches Hathaway and says he is being nice because they were on the Hound's End together. But if he interrupts EFF affairs again, he will beat Hathaway. I don't think Tamino realized when he first wrote this novel that Kenneth saying beat while holding a whip comes off more erotic than menacing. Hathaway says that Mafty is becoming a modern-day Joan of Arc. Kenneth says that Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, which is what he intends to do. Kenneth gets a car for Gigi and Hathaway, and the three drive off. As they drive off, a new model flies down, silhouetting against the sun. Kenneth tells the mobile suit pilot to get out over the radio. This is Penelope. The RX-104FF Penelope is a 5th generation mobile suit that can achieve independent flight and greatly improves operation under Earth's gravity. This is greatly in part due to the fixed flight, or FF unit. The base of this unit is the Odysseus GUNDAM. The fixed flight system makes it turn into Penelope. This also has a Minovsky craft system which is now small enough to be put in mobile suits. Remember, this creates a Minovsky particle pillow that allows a craft to float. The evolution of this technology is the Minovsky barrier, which Penelope deploys when it transforms into its bird mode. It also has funnel missiles, which the pilot can control via a highly accurate Psychomu system. Its megaparticle cannons surpass the high mega cannon found on Double Zeta. Other weapons include a beam rifle, Vulcan guns on its bird head, megaparticle cannons, a shield, and a beam saber. The pilot comes down. Kenneth begins yelling at the pilot. He says to shoot to kill next time, or he will take Penelope away. This is lane aim. He heads back to the mobile suit to run maintenance checks. Kenneth says that good test pilots make poor workers. Hathaway mentions that he was the same when he stole a mobile suit during Char's rebellion. EFF provided Gigi and Hathaway with rooms on the base. Gigi later comes to Hathaway's room with clothes for him that she bought at the base shopping center, courtesy of EFF. But she doesn't hang out. She gives him the clothes and takes off. He can't get a read on her. 30 minutes later, someone named Wave shows Hathaway to the cafeteria for breakfast. As he passes through the corridor, he tries to memorize as much of the base as possible. He knows they are in the northern part of the base, and most likely Gauman is being held in the southern part of the base. As he waits for Gigi in the cafeteria, he notices officers coming, eating, and leaving quickly. An operation must be underway. He never thought he would be eating with the enemy. Gigi comes in. He was waiting for her. To quote the novel, as the clothes were brought from the shopping center on base, it was inevitably casual, yet she looked quite good. Bandai went on to take this quote and sell it to you for around $350. Wave informs the two that Kenneth is running late, but he wants to join them. Hathaway is also informed that the Bureau of Investigation will talk to him at 10. Kenneth eventually comes to their table. He is changing the name of his new team to the Circe Corps. It is named after the daughter of the sun god Helios in the Odyssey. Hathaway notes that Kenneth is being a hipster to impress Gigi. She says that it is a strong name, but not as strong as Mafty. Kenneth begins flirting with Gigi and asks her out. He says that she is a goddess and having sex with him will bring his unit good luck. Wait, did I read that right? Gigi, you're a goddess of fortune, so if you sleep with me, the Circe unit will become the essence of Circe. Well, that's a bold move. During the movie, Gigi eats like a normal person, but in the novel it says that she uses an egg holder like it's a Warner Brothers cartoon from the 50s. I guess they're trying to make her out to seem very posh. Kenneth tells his subordinate to send the 4th Squadron while Gigi gets up and leaves after Kenneth's comment. He turns to Hathaway and says, "Let me tell you, I will wreck that woman. Do you hear me? I will wreck her." The dialogue is actually more clinical and awkward. It would have actually been better if he was an asshole. Japanese men need to work on their game. Hathaway says that Gigi has a glass heart and a fresh young body. What is this dialogue? You know, I think diving into the light novels was a mistake. He says that he will be leaving after he talks to the Investigation Bureau. He goes to take a nap until then. Before leaving, Hathaway wonders why don't they just prevent the ministers from coming to Earth. But Kenneth says that it isn't easy as they all have families down on Earth. Kenneth says this genuinely, without a sense of irony to the fact that the Manhunters does this exact same thing to the Poors. Hathaway doesn't say this out loud. Everyone seems to be on Mafty's side on Earth, but Kenneth reminds him that 300 people have died by their hands. 18 Federation ministers were killed in the past 24 hours. Mafty's words hold strong to the hearts of the Earthnoids, that their words can create many rebels in the process. Kenneth actually understands where Mafty is coming from, but he is going to follow his orders. Hathaway says that a man who knows of the facts, but still is willing to carry out their orders is quite a fearsome enemy, and he needs to be careful. Hathaway sleeps for 2 hours before talking to Geis from the Investigation Bureau. The only thing he ended up asking was where was Hathaway sitting on the Houndsman. Geis seems to have the same concerns that Kenneth has. He believes that Mafty's ideas will spread fast, creating small rebel insurgencies to break out. Before leaving, Hathaway says that the general consensus for Mafty is positive, right? Geis hesitates and says, well, they are terrorists, so it is only a matter of time until they are taken down. He totally dodges the question. After he is finished, he goes to see Kenneth one final time before taking off. He was talking to his subordinates, including Lane Aim. Kenneth gives him an official document to sign off on his testimony. He thinks that Hathaway would make for a great pilot. He says that he is more into manual labor. Kenneth thought that he saw a new type in Hathaway. He wonders if during Char's rebellion, he ever came across the Alpha Izeru. Of course, Hathaway has been spending his adult life trying to repress those memories. He tells Kenneth of the girl that he once loved and who he had to shoot down. He never thought of himself as a new type. He knows, though, that Quest certainly was one. It was just his attraction to her that drove him to get into the mobile suit and ultimately kill Quest. Kenneth says that Amado Ray felt something similar in battle, which unlocked his new type potential. Hathaway asserts that he is just the father of a war hero and nothing more. Kenneth says after he takes down Mafty, the two of them should go trolling together. I didn't know trolling was a fishing term, and I thought they were about to commit online hate crimes. He wonders if he wants to say goodbye to Good Game before he leaves. He says that he'll regret it. Kenneth wonders, don't you find it odd that she came to Earth without a permanent residence? Kenneth checked the location of the address she gave EFF. It happened to be an abandoned building. As he leaves, Kenneth reminds him that the Circe team will take down Mafty. Hathaway chuckles and makes his leave. And that will do it for this episode. Hathaway is pushing his luck with some of the questions that he is asking Kenneth. Now Hathaway has to figure out a way to save Gauman. One thing to note is that this was written in '89, so there are mentions of floppy drives, which are just, it's beautiful. Imagine uploading a Gundam operating system using a floppy. Next time we will conclude Volume 1 of Hathaway's Flash. Hathaway will meet up with his comrades. Kenneth will interrogate Gauman, and we will finally see Mafty's Gundam in action. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember to compare a woman to someone in the Greek pantheon. Everyone loves being compared to someone who has sex with a god. Peace.